Hello friends, how are you all doing? I'm at the Washington, D.C. Auto Show today. Right now I have the 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Now this is the short wheelbase one. A few months before, Jeep introduced the Grand Cherokee L, which is a larger 3-row version of this, but this is the one that I and a lot of you off-roaders have been waiting for. So it's an all-new vehicle. It has an all-new front end. It's pretty much just like the Grand Cherokee L. I like it a lot. It's a lot more chiseled and more squared off than the last gen. The last gen was a little bit more, curvy and bubbly. This is a little bit more rugged and masculine looking. Jeep is coming out with a Trailhawk 4xe model, which has an optional sway bar disconnect. So it's really off-road capable, and it's really gonna put the next gen 4Runner up to its paces, which I'm very excited to see that too. Some models get air suspension, and when the air suspension is completely jacked up, you get up to 11.3 inches of ground clearance. Approach and departure angle, I'm not exactly sure about just yet, but in the full review, I'll talk about that. So in this brand new Grand Cherokee, Jeep is still offering the 3.6 liter Pentastar V6 and the 5.7 liter V8, but this one in particular is a 4xe, so it's actually electrified. So under the hood of these, it's actually pretty interesting. This is a plug-in hybrid, the first ever plug-in hybrid Grand Cherokee, which is interesting, and it uses the same powertrain as the Jeep Wrangler 4xe. It's a very good powertrain, a lot of power. It's a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo, so the same 2-liter that Stellantis has been putting in their Jeep Wranglers and everything. This one makes 375 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque. Those are very healthy numbers, especially considering that this is a 4-cylinder and with the economy that you get out of this engine. So the side of the Grand Cherokee is also all new, and I actually really like it a little bit more than the Grand Cherokee L. The silhouette of it is very interesting. Now on this model, they have this silver trim that goes all the way down here. It makes it look like it's flowing. And I like the two-tone black roof with the white body. This one in particular is white, but you can also get a body-colored roof as well. Over here is where you plug it in. You have your electric charging outlet. And then this one has 21-inch wheels. Now the Grand Cherokee has always been kind of a luxurious SUV, a little bit more luxurious than a 4Runner, but Jeep is really making that clear with this new Grand Cherokee. In the rear end of the Grand Cherokee, you can see that it's been luxurified. I know that's not a word, but just made a lot more classy. They've shrunken the taillights. It looks very nice. It's a nice looking package, and I like this black trim over here. So you can see the Summit badge. This is the fully loaded one. Of course you have a power tailgate. It's gonna work. There we go. Goes up pretty quickly, but this is the 2-row model, so you only have 5 seats. The rear seat is a 60-40 split. You have a tonneau cover over here, but the space is actually pretty good. The only thing with these newer SUVs that I've always had this issue with is that they make the rear end of it sort of slope, so you can't really fit as much stuff as you could think, but at least, it doesn't cave in like this. Underneath here, well, this one has the battery in the trunk, which is interesting, but it looks like you could put a full-size spare tire in here, which is nice for you off-roaders, because there is a jack under there. Then there's various, power outlets and storage here. There's one plug here that runs with the battery, so that's nice if you're actually sleeping back here. Wow, so the interior of this is the first time I've actually gotten in here, and I'm actually blown away because my friend has a 2019 Grand Cherokee Summit, so I'm actually blown away. So I can't actually start the car, but there's a lot of piano black plastic in here, which, it doesn't look bad, and it evens out with this matte or satin finish wood, even on the wheel. I don't know how I feel about that, but the steering wheel controls feel nice. It's a 3-spoke leather-wrapped steering wheel. This one in particular is heated. Jeep does offer a lot of different safety features on this, like a complete amount, and a lot of it is standard too, which is interesting. But I like this big screen. I can't see it, so I can't really tell you how I feel about the Uconnect system on this. But there are a lot of hard touch buttons on here, but like for the climate control, I do appreciate that they have hard touch buttons for the climate control. So down here, let's see, these are my first, this is like the issue with, auto show cars, things get broken and all sticky, but this is supposed to nicely go. But there's, wow, 2 USB-C USB Type-C ports, 2 regular USB ports, an aux jack, and an HDMI port, and a power outlet, a 12-volt one, and this also has wireless charging. But over here, if the car was on, you'd see a lot more things lit up, but this is the four-wheel drive or terrain select controls. All of these are full-time four-wheel drive, but you can select different off-road terrain modes with this dial over here. So you could go from rock, sand and mud, snow, auto, and sport. So each program changes how the traction control works and makes it either less aggressive or more aggressive. And it also changes the throttle response. Over here, you could control the height control. Since this isn't on, I can't actually show you it going up and down. And then this is the four-wheel drive low button. It is interesting how they've done this. It's just like a modern rendition, but I do like how the interior looks. Wow. I just noticed this screen over here. When the car is off, you can't even tell, but the passenger on this Summit model has a screen. I also do like how both the driver and passenger side seats have memory in them, but this has a, wow, power tilt and telescoping steering wheel. That's nice for a Grand Cherokee. That's what I mean. Jeep has really been, oh, the car is upset. But Jeep has really been improving the Grand Cherokees over the years, especially in the last gen, but this is just a complete step above it. You also have this pano sunroof up here, which I do find very nice. The old ones had this, but this is a little bit bigger and more airy feeling. So I also wanted to talk about the seats. They're really comfortable in this. Grand Cherokees have always had good seats, especially I remember the WJs back in the early 2000s. The seats are really comfortable, but Jeep really does not disappoint in the seat department. In this Summit model, they are heated and ventilated. I love it. And you have this really nice stitching all through here. And I like that you have thigh extensions over here. It just adds to the comfort of it. Something else that I just wanted to mention about the seats is that on this Summit model, I don't know if other less high trims have it, but this one has massaging seats. That's really cool. Then the center console, wow, it opens. It's two-tier, of course, but it opens, with a nice quality feeling. The center console is nicely sized, and let's see. No creaks. I mean, this is a pre-production model anyway, but everything feels solid. All the dials, all the knobs, all the buttons. So the rear seat of the Grand Cherokee first, nice soft thud. The quality still remains the same, which I do appreciate in the back of this, but for lighting's sake, I'm going to open the door. You have this nice wood trim, same as the front doors here. The door panels are all soft touch. In this model, you do have sunshades, but I believe in lower trim levels you don't. Some key features that I want to mention about the rear seat of this, you have these two very nice screens back here, and you can stream through Amazon like a Fire Stick, and you can also plug things in with HDMI, a headphone jack, and USB Type-C. I love that Jeep is adding all this connectivity back here. So you have USB Type-C ports on the screens themselves. You have two USB ports here, well, normal USB ports, and two USB Type-C ports as well. So they are really going crazy. And an Edison plug, a normal power outlet, which is very nice. This has heated and cooled rear seats. Heated seats, I've seen before, but cooled seats in the back, that's pretty impressive. And of course, this one has the third climate control zone with air vents over here. But the center console over here, two cup holders, it's not bad. Well, not center console, the center armrest. These seats also do recline with a little lever back here. And it, that also adds to the 60-40-ness when you fold the seats flat. But I also like that they've added the stitching back here as well. And of course, it's perforated. The rear seats of this are very comfortable. If you're sitting in this seat and then you look at the passenger side rear window, you can see a little Easter egg of all the Grand Cherokees. You can see the WJ, the ZJ, WJ, WK, WK2, and then I don't know what this one is called. I'll put that in the editing.
Yeah, do they know?
What generation? WL? WL? And that is the 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee. At least my first impressions of it. Hopefully in the next coming months I can actually do a full review of one, because I'd love to take one off-road, show you how all the four-wheel drive systems work, show you how everything works. But thank you guys for watching, subscribing. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, peeps.